Yes, let's start. Cartilage. What is the cartilage? It's a supporting tissue of the body. That first of all, let us see the structure of the cartilage. Then after, we'll go with the various types of cartilage and we'll trace out of the cartilage in human being also. Okay, so cartilage, any cartilage surrounded by a membrane called perichondrium. The basic line I am explaining here with the diagram, the cartilage is surrounded by perichondrium. Any cartilage is surrounded by a membrane called perichondrium. Okay, so this is perichondrium. The cells in the perichondrium are considered as perichondroblast cells. The cells of the perichondrium are considered as perichondroblast cells. Listen carefully. Then next, in here itself, in the perichondrium itself, there are so many blood vessels and blood capillaries are present. So many blood vessels and blood capillaries are present here itself in the perichondrium. Let us apply it red here. That shows the blood vessels and blood capillaries. So that means perichondrium is richly vascularized. You need to understand. So cartilage is surrounded by a membrane called perichondrium, we say. Then the matrix of the cartilage, the intercellular matrix of the cartilage is called as chondrin. The matrix of the cartilage is called as chondrin. So cartilage is surrounded by the membrane called perichondrium. Perichondrium. Then it contains many blood vessels. We say it contains many blood vessels, and that the cells present in the perichondrium are said to be perichondroblast cells. The cells present there are called as perichondroblast cells. Okay. Then the complete matrix of the cartilage is said to be chondrin. Okay, so that is filled with the intercellular substance. What do you say? That matrix. Okay, so that matrix is filled here. So I actually have to fill like this, a complete filling that we say matrix. The matrix of the cartilage is said to be chondrin. In this particular matrix, we'll find some in some places the empty spaces. Okay, so let me fill first that empty spaces between the matrix are called as empty spaces between the matrix are considered as lacunae. Okay, so let me show you the empty spaces. So I filled it total. Okay, so that in between them some empty spaces are present. That empty spaces are called lacunae. Okay, so for what we use green here, like this. Some empty spaces. We say them as lacunae. Okay, so in the lacunae, what are present in the lacunae? Lacunae contain that cells, chondroblast cells, one or two or three or four, 1 to 4 chondroblast cells are present here. So in the lacunae, who are present? Chondroblast cells are present. Okay. So that chondroblast cells are present. So that is the basic structure of that matrix of the cartilage here. This is what you are observing, that is transverse section of cartilage. In the transverse section of cartilage, that cartilage surrounded by a membrane called perichondrium. Then perichondrium is richly vascularized. That means blood vessels are present. Then cells of the perichondrium are called as perichondroblast cells. And the matrix of the cartilage is called chondrin. Empty spaces in the matrix is called lacunae. Lacunae contain 1 to 4 chondroblast cells. Inactive status of the chondroblast cells can be called as chondrocyte. Inactive status can be called chondrocyte, but that active form we can say it as chondroblast cells. Okay, so these chondroblast cells are only responsible for the growth of this cartilage, the growth of the cartilage. The matrix is growth of the matrix is possible by these cells only. We call it as interstitial growth. Interstitial growth. Such kind of growth can be called as interstitial growth. Okay, so this growth, little size increase required. Yeah, interstitial growth. The growth possible by the chondroblast cells. We don't have in syllabus, but if perichondroblast cells, they are also responsible for the growth up to a certain age. If the perichondroblast cells are responsible for the growth, such growth is called oppositional growth. Positional growth is going to be stopped after a period of time. Talking about human being, because we are going to learn ourselves. We have bone as a main component, but on the tip of the nose and the ears, external ear pinna, in these kind of places we'll find the cartilage. We have the cartilage. That's some cartilage is there. So we are talking about that particular cartilage. Okay. So then let me go and again, once again, the structure of the cartilage here in the transverse section of the cartilage. In the transverse section of the cartilage surrounded by a membrane called perichondrium. The cartilage surrounded by a membrane called perichondrium. It is richly vascularized. That means that supplies nourishment to the total cartilage. The supply of nourishment to the total cartilage done by perichondrium only, containing what? Containing blood vessels. The matrix of the cartilage is called chondrin. The matrix of the cartilage is called chondrin. Empty spaces in the matrix are called lacunae. Empty spaces are called lacunae. Lacunae contain 1 to 4 chondroblast cells and they are responsible for the growth of matrix. We call the growth as interstitial growth. Then this is the basic structure. We have 3 types of cartilages. Cartilages are of 3 types. The hyaline cartilage, elastic cartilage, hyaline cartilage, elastic cartilage, and fibrous cartilage. Calcified cartilage is another type that we don't have in that kind of cartilage in human being. That is in frog, especially in the frog. So just we are talking about mostly the focused on human, that we have only 3 types of cartilages in syllabus: hyaline, elastic, and fibrous cartilage. Okay. So what is the difference? Let us take one after another here. Hyaline cartilage. Nothing different in case of hyaline cartilage. That hyaline meaning is transparent. A meaning is a transparent. Imagine the matrix is white in color. Actually, I drawn with blue color that for your easy visibility. The matrix is white in color, and in the matrix, whatever the fibers are present, they are also white in color. Will they visible? No, they cannot be visible. So that means if the white collagen fiber, the thin collagen fibers are present here. So thin collagen fibers, if I draw, that it is visible actually. So that means that background color matching with the background color. That means imagine this is the white color. On this white color, white collagen fibers are present. Nearly white color, bluish white, we use it to say. So simply what I am going to say, hyaline cartilage means thin collagen fibers are present. Hyaline cartilage means thin collagen fibers are present here, but their visibility is comparatively less. And this is a less rigid cartilage, thin collagen fibers, isn't it? Next, elastin fiber, elastic cartilage. The second one, elastic cartilage. By the name, you can understand what type of cartilage. Okay, so by the name, these are elastin fibers. In the cartilage, in the matrix, I think you may understand with these, whether it is hyaline or elastic. The remaining structure is same. Only based on the fibers in the matrix, we are going to classify it in the form of hyaline cartilage with thin collagen fiber. Elastic cartilage, yellow elastin fibers are present here. So elastin fiber. By the presence of fiber, that elasticity can be expected for these kind of cartilage, isn't it? We'll discuss. We'll discuss. First, basic nature of the cartilage we are talking. Okay. Then fibrous cartilage. What is fibrous cartilage? The fibrous, it's there in the name. In case of fibrous cartilage, that thick collagen fibers, they are going to occupy the huge space. The thick collagen fibers are occupying the huge space. Large number of collagen fibers are present here in the matrix of the cartilage. So that's why this cartilage will become highest rigid cartilage. Okay, highest rigid cartilage. And one more correction, that they don't have perichondrium. That means this layer is absent. Perichondrium is absent. Okay, so then we get doubt, if perichondrium absent, how it get nourishment? It will get nourishment from underlying tissues where they are present. So from there, they are going to get that nourishment. Okay. So the thing to be remembered in case of fibrous cartilage, there is no perichondrium will get nourishment from underlying tissues. So this is the story of hyaline, elastic, and fibrous cartilage. Hyaline cartilage, elastin cartilage, and fibrous cartilage. So just keep all these things in the mind, and then we'll go to the textbook now. The skeletal tissue. The skeletal tissue are supporting tissue. We use it to say the skeletal tissue are supporting tissue. That include two, cartilage and bone. So it forms the endoskeleton of the vertebrates. Skeletal tissue form the endoskeleton of the vertebrate. It supports the body and protect various organs, provide surface for the attachment of the muscle, and helps in locomotion. Then the skeletal tissue is of two types, cartilage and bone. In that, the first of all, we are moving with the cartilage. The cartilage is also called gristle. The other name for the cartilage is gristle. The cartilage is a solid but semi-rigid or flexible connective tissue. The property of cartilage is solid but semi-rigid or flexible connective tissue. It resists compression. Matrix is firm but somewhat pliable. Matrix is firm. Firm, the word meaning is rigid, but somewhat pliable, pliability, flexibility. So based on the type of cartilage, the things will change over. Okay, so it has collagen fiber in some. It has elastic fibers. That in case of elastic cartilage, it has elastic fibers. And matrix secreting cells called chondroblast cell. Just keep the diagram in mind, you can understand every sentence. The matrix secreting cells called chondroblast cells. These cells are enclosed in a fluid-filled spaces called lacunae. Fluid-filled spaces called lacunae. The chondrocytes are said to be the inactive cells of the cartilage. Then cartilage is surrounded by a fibrous connective tissue sheath we call perichondrium. Cartilage is surrounded by a fibrous connective tissue sheath called perichondrium. Cartilage is avascular. The total cartilage is avascular, and it is nourished by the diffusion of nutrients from the blood capillaries of the perichondrium. That means the blood capillaries are present only in the perichondrium. Growth, regeneration, and repair of cartilage takes place by the activity of perichondrial cells. The perichondrial cells of the perichondrium is responsible for the growth, regeneration, and repair of cartilage. The cartilage is of three types, which differ from each other and chiefly in the composition of the matrix. Okay, so this paragraph we made. How we made the paragraph? We said we went through in our order. What is the order? So just if you are able to draw the diagram, if you are able to draw the diagram, that's enough. That means you can do this. Okay, so I'll draw you once again. That diagram is spoiled earlier. So now let's go with the diagram here. Let's go with the diagram. So what we said, I went through in my order. Cartilage is surrounded by a membrane called perichondrium. The membrane of the cartilage is called perichondrium. Okay. So the cells of the perichondrium are called perichondroblast cell, and it is richly vascularized. The blood vessels and capillaries are present here, which is providing nourishment to the total cartilage. The matrix of the cartilage is called chondrin, and empty spaces present in them are called lacunae. And lacunae contain the chondrocytes, which are inactive status. When they become active, we call them as chondroblast cells. So, if you are able to label this, that you know that means you can write that perichondrium, perichondroblast cells, blood vessels, the matrix of the cartilage, chondrin, empty spaces, lacunae, the cells of the lacunae, chondroblast cells, inactive status, chondrocytes. Along with that in the matrix, some collagen or elastin or reticular fibers are present based on the type of cartilage. Okay, so let's talk about the hyaline cartilage. Hyaline, it is a bluish white, translucent and glass-like cartilage. Hyaline, it means a transparent. The meaning of hyaline is itself the transparent, bluish white, translucent, and glass-like cartilage. Matrix is homogeneous and show delicate collagen fiber. What is the meaning of the matrix is homogeneous? Matrix is bluish white, and the fibers present in them also white. That means that look like transparent. So very thin collagen fibers are present. That's why we consider this is the weakest and most common type. So it is weakest, but it is most common type of all cartilages. Okay, so that is hyaline cartilage. Then examples play the role here. Examples play the role. Then perichondrium is present. Actually, perichondrium, this is the perichondrium we are talking about. Perichondrium is present except that in articular cartilages. Who is articular cartilages? We need to look forward. So perichondrium is present generally except in articular cartilage. Then examples. It forms the embryonic endoskeleton of bony vertebrates, bony fishes, amphibians, reptiles, aves, and mammals. We are all we say as bony vertebrates. So embryonic, it means in case of human being also in our embryonic stages, what is our endoskeleton? Means hyaline cartilage. What is our endoskeleton in adult stage means? We know our endoskeleton is bone, but embryonic endoskeleton of the bony vertebrates, including human being, is hyaline cartilage. Next, endoskeleton of cyclostomes. They are a kind of fish-like animal. We are going to discuss them in next chapter in animal diversity too. Okay, jawless vertebrates, we used to say them as endoskeleton of cyclostome, jawless vertebrate, and adult cartilaginous fishes. Okay, so the point wise, you need to remember number one, embryonic endoskeleton of bony vertebrate. Number two, endoskeleton of cyclostomes. Next, and adult cartilaginous fishes. Okay, it forms the articular cartilage, free surfaces of the long bone that form the joints. Let us draw two long bones to understand this much better. This is a bone, and this is another bone. Okay, these two bones are joining. Here it is like this. Ligament, you know this. The two bones join each other by ligament. So where is our hyaline cartilage? So that we need to locate. The hyaline cartilage, free surfaces of the long bones that form joint. The black color I am using, that is hyaline cartilage. Okay, so what do you say it as? It can be called as articular cartilage. It can be called as articular cartilage. Okay, so if you see that it will be fixed in the brain. So just watch this. Articular cartilage. At the tip of the long bones, the free surfaces of the long bones which form the joints, we say articular cartilage is present. Okay. Next, costal cartilage. So whom we call costal cartilage? Then on the ventral surface in the middle of the thoracic region, we have a rod-like structure called sternum. Do remember this. In the coming days, it will come to you. Then you may not know the sternum, but you know the ribs. We have 12 pairs of ribs, isn't it? That everyone can feel their own ribs. 12 pairs of thoracic ribs are present here. Okay, so sternal parts of the ribs, that are the example saying sternal parts of the ribs. That means ribs where they attaches to the sternum is by hyaline cartilage. Sternal parts of the ribs is by hyaline cartilage, like this. It's the sternal parts of the ribs, you can say. So then next, the epiphyseal plate. Now only we have seen the long bone, isn't it? In the long bone, that epiphyseal plates. Here it is. I already shown you that the long bones at the tips, that where they connected to the joint, they have articular cartilage. So who is epiphyseal plate? A growth plate, we can say generally. A growth plate. Here it is. So when we go to the bone in the next coming days, in the coming classes, there you can understand what exactly epiphyseal plate. But now I shown the location to you. This is the epiphyseal plate. In the long bone, that place, epiphyseal plate, is also made up of hyaline cartilage. Next, nasal septal cartilage. You can feel this. In the nasal chamber, in the center, we'll find nasal septal cartilage. The cartilaginous rings of trachea, nasal septal cartilage, cartilaginous rings of trachea. That the rings which are, we can't say rings actually, C-shaped structures. That C-shaped cartilaginous structures of the trachea are made up of hyaline cartilage. They prevent the collapse of trachea. Okay, then bronchi, the branches of trachea itself called bronchi, and the cartilages of larynx. Larynx is a voice box actually. That larynx is also made up of that. There are so many cartilages like thyroid, cricoid, arytenoid, santorini. Simply you remember in first year cartilages of larynx. Okay, so many examples. Okay, after this we'll go to the chart and we'll watch that examples also. But do you remember that examples? I'll read back again. That number one, articular cartilage. Number two, costal cartilage. And number three, epiphyseal plate. Number four, nasal septal cartilage. Number five, cartilaginous rings of trachea, bronchi. And number six, cartilages of larynx. Just to remember this. Degeneration of which, we have a question here. Let us read. Degeneration of which part of a long bone results in arthritis? A disease which limits the movement of bones, causing severe pain in the joint. Nowadays, everyone knows the name of this arthritis, isn't it? So that he is asking degeneration of which part of the long bone. So why they are asking here? Why they are asking here? This is your knee. Imagine this is your femur bone, and this is the tibia and fibula. Okay, so that means there are that tibia and fibula. No need to go for technical names. Just this is the joint. Okay, so when this cartilage degeneration of which part of the long bone? This part of the long bone. Which part? Hyaline cartilage. Okay, so nowadays you may know the knee replacement, all the surgeries because of joint pains in the legs. So that is because of degeneration of this cartilage. That means you try to understand the importance of hyaline cartilage. So that's for that only they are given this particular box item. Okay. Now let's continue with the elastic cartilage. What we said in elastic cartilage, elastin fibers are present. Elastin fiber, yellowish color. Why? Because they are due to elastin fiber. Elastic fibers are present. So due to the elastic fiber, they have resilience process. We use it to say resilience. What is resilience? No need to understand the meaning. You can feel. You do one thing, that your ear. So bend your ear. When you bend your ear, as long as you bend ear, if you leave, that will get original position, isn't it? That we say resilience. Okay. So that we call resilience. That is because of elasticity. That is because of elastin fibers. Okay, now let's come into the topic. It is yellowish due to elastic fiber. Matrix has abundance of yellow elastic fiber in addition to collagen fiber, but more is elastin fiber. Then it provides, what it provides? It provides strength and elasticity due to the presence of elastin fiber. Okay, so here perichondrium is there. Perichondrium is present. Examples. Examples are important for us. It is in the pinnae of the external ears. That pinnae, that this is the pinnae, that external ears. Okay. Then Eustachian tube. Eustachian tube is actually the tube which is there, run from the internal ear to the pharynx. Will come in second year. Just you remember the name. Epiglottis. Epiglottis. Epiglottis is also like the same. In the respiratory system, we are going to learn this. Epiglottis. That opening of the trachea is called glottis. That is covered by a lid called epiglottis. You may heard over in earlier classes. No matter. We're going to get this back in second year. Epiglottis. Okay. So, pinnae of the external ears, Eustachian tube, and epiglottis. These three are the examples for elastic cartilage. And next, the fibrous cartilage. Fibrous cartilage. That fibrous cartilage matrix has bundles of collagen fiber. Fibrous, we said. In the matrix, what are present? Large number of collagen fibers are present. Here we say it has fibrous cartilage. Okay. The matrix has bundles of collagen fiber. Then here, perichondrium is absent. In this cartilage, perichondrium is absent. Then it is the strongest of all the type of cartilage. Why? Why? Because it contains large number of collagen fiber. No perichondrium. Then the strongest of all the type of cartilage. These are the features to be remembered. It occurs in the intervertebral disc. Do you see this? It occurs in the intervertebral disc and pubic symphysis of the pelvis. It occurs in the intervertebral disc and pubic symphysis of the pelvis. Okay, so we'll learn examples and we'll try to fill in the respective places. I think with the help of you, I can do this, isn't it? Where we stop, we continue with the chart. Okay, so trachea, nasal septal cartilage. We filled already some, and now that nasal septal cartilage.
Hyaline cartilage.
Very good. Hyaline cartilage, nasal septal cartilage, hyaline cartilage. Trachea with cartilaginous rings.
Hyaline cartilage.
Hyaline cartilage. Trachea with cartilaginous rings. Hyaline cartilage. The sternal parts of the ribs.
Hyaline cartilage.
Hyaline cartilage.
Hyaline cartilage. Very good. Endoskeleton of cyclostomes.
Hyaline cartilage.
Hyaline cartilage.
Hyaline cartilage. Endoskeleton of cyclostome. Hyaline cartilage. Okay. Elastic ligaments present between vertebrae. Elastic ligaments present between.
Hyaline cartilage.
No, this is not cartilage. It is yellow elastic connective tissue that we learned earlier. We didn't fill earlier, that's all. Elastic ligaments present between the vertebrae. Okay, wait, I'll show you that elastic ligaments present between the vertebrae. So that we learn in yellow elastic connective tissue. I'll show you here. This is the line. Elastic ligaments present between vertebrae. Elastic connective tissue. That is yellow in color. I made it yellow elastic connective tissue. Pinna of the external ear.
Elastic,
Elastic
cartilage.
Very good. Elastic cartilage. Okay, elastic cartilage. Joint capsule. Joint capsule. Okay, so this is also from the connective tissue itself. Joint capsule. So people are not answering means we need to check there. You see this. In the dense irregular connective tissue, we have this joint capsule. Now you answer. Yes.
Dense irregular connective tissue.
Connective tissue. Dense irregular connective tissue. Deeper region of the dermis of skin.
Dense irregular connective tissue.
Irregular connective tissue.
Irregular connective tissue. Dense irregular connective tissue. Okay. Eustachian tube. Now only we learn Eustachian tube. External ear pinna, Eustachian tube, and
Elastic cartilage.
examples of elastic cartilage. External ear pinna, Eustachian tube, and epiglottis are the examples of elastic cartilage. Okay. Next, cartilage in the bronchi. Cartilage in the bronchi.
Hyaline cartilage.
Very good. Hyaline cartilage. Cartilage in the bronchi. Dense connective tissue of the bronchi. Here as we have some confusion. So dense connective tissue. There is a difference between the connective tissue and cartilage. So we are talking about the connective tissue. Okay, so bronchi, where you see the bronchi, here it is. Dense connective tissue of the present in the bronchi means you need to answer yellow elastic connective tissue. That yellow elastic connective tissue. Okay, so here you get confusion. That's why I'm saying itself. Yellow elastic connective tissue. Okay. Next, cartilages of larynx.
Hyaline cartilage.
Cartilages of larynx. Which kind of cartilage can be seen over?
Hyaline cartilage.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Very good. Yes, a hyaline cartilage. Cartilages of larynx. Hyaline cartilage. Next, free surfaces of long bones that form joints.
Hyaline cartilage.
Hyaline cartilage.
Hyaline cartilage.
We have a specific name for that, isn't it? What do you say it as? Articular.
Articular
In that, you
cartilage.
need to answer it as articular cartilage. It is called, and that is hyaline cartilage. Dense connective tissue of trachea.
Yellow elastic connective tissue.
Yellow elastic connective tissue.
Yellow elastic connective tissue. Yellow elastic connective tissue. Articular cartilage.
Hyaline cartilage.
Hyaline cartilage. Articular cartilage. Hyaline cartilage. Coastal cartilage.
Hyaline cartilage.
Hyaline cartilage.
Yes, hyaline cartilage. Okay, so coastal cartilage, nothing but sternal parts of the ribs. Cartilage of the jawless vertebrates.
Hyaline cartilage.
Hyaline cartilage. I request all of you to fill these till 46. That out of 64 we are completed. That some more to complete today itself. Cartilage of the cartilaginous species.
Hyaline cartilage.
Yeah, very good. Hyaline cartilage. Epiglottis.
Elastic cartilage.
Elastic cartilage.
Elastic cartilage. Epiglottis, elastic cartilage. Cartilage of the embryonic endoskeleton.
Hyaline
Hyaline
cartilage.
Hyaline cartilage. Cartilage of the embryonic endoskeleton. Hyaline cartilage. Pubic symphysis of pelvis. So pubic symphysis of pelvis. So that means you have problem here. Let's go and check in the fibrous cartilage. In the examples of fibrous cartilage. You see here. Intervertebral discs and pubic symphysis of the pelvis. So now I'm showing here while filling. If you have any problem, you check in the text even. Okay, so what is the cartilage? Fibrous cartilage. Okay, fibrous cartilage. Cartilage on the epiphyseal plates.
Hyaline cartilage.
Cartilage on the epiphyseal plate. Very good.
Hyaline
Cartilage. Okay. So actually, if you remember, external ear pinna, Eustachian tube, and epiglottis are the examples for the elastic cartilage. Intervertebral disc and pubic symphysis are example for fibrous cartilage. If you remember that, the remaining automatically that will come for the elastic or that hyaline cartilage. Okay, intervertebral discs.
Fibrous cartilage.
Very good. Fibrous cartilage. Intervertebral disc, fibrous cartilage. Okay, so that's it. That is till 52. That means when we complete the bone, we'll be able to fill the total worksheet. But we are completed till 52. I request all of you to read and to fill this particular worksheet and practice the worksheet continuously from the from the beginning. That means if you can able to fill the worksheet of epithelial tissue and connective tissue, that means the 90% of the chapter is over. That 90% who is present in that where that in which place which type of tissue is present, if you are able to understand, that will be much helpful for you in human physiology also. In human physiology also these things will come and will be helpful for us to learn the human physiology also. That's why take this as much as serious and fill it, and you try to answer.